Alrighty guys, I'm here with another video. So we're going to look at this Enfield, but honestly it's not really the Enfield I was expecting. This is modeled like an Enfield No.1 Mk.3. However, you might have noticed the difference in the magazine, and you might have noticed there's two different types of ammo sitting there. This is actually an Enfield Ishapore 2A. Now that was a designation they gave. The No.1 rifle at that time was a different type of thing. So this is an Ishapore 2A. I'm not really sure where it says it on it. I haven't really looked at this guy quite enough to remember where it's at. You can see it's all scratched out, beat up. There's our serial number. I probably shouldn't have shown that, but you know, we'll get used to that. There, as you can see, Enfield 7.62 millimeter 2A. So she's actually not a 2A1, which would have been a later iteration. So 1965. It does have the royal crest on it there. You know, for the Empire. The pull it all the way back. It's cock on closed. So safe now. Can't do nothing with it. But it's got a different box magazine on it. It is still detachable, but it's chambered in 308, not in 303 British. Let's look at the differences between those in just a second. But you can see this is a beautiful example of a No.1. However, it's not. It's a 2A chambered in 308. I do believe I have something in the stock. You can hear it. Yep, it's clinking around in there. We'll pull that out and take a look at her. But I gotta get a green webbing sling for it. Can't find one quite yet, but at least not for a reasonable price. I do have the correct year and everything for the bayonet. However, if I put that on there, she'd be protruding past these puzzles here. I ain't doing that. So we'll have to wait till another video, probably when I'm out and about. But here are the different bullet diameters and such. So we'll take a look at them. First one there was the 308. That is a oh, she rolled. She rolled underneath the. There it is. Oh, and there goes the 303. Come here, you. We'll look at the difference between the two of them. You can see the 303 British is quite a bit taller. The 308 looks fatter, looks stronger, but actually just a thicker diameter down around the bottom, and it has no rim. You can see the rim protruding here. See it better if we put you straight on with the bullet. See that rim? Yep. And the neck on this one looks a lot fatter, but believe it or not, that bullet is 308 diameter, just like it says. So 7.62 by 51 NATO. This one is actually a bit thicker than that 308 bullet. She is actually a 311. It can go all the way up to, I think, 313 diameter, but I'm not pushing it that far. So this is actually a 311 diameter bullet in that cartridge. Now when this shoots out of the other Enfields that I have, it actually necks it differently because every single one had a different headspace. So you got to be careful with them, and you can only reload for the specific rifle. You'll have protruding edges because that neck gets stuck either here, or it can get stuck here, or you can get further in. They're all different. That was the problem with Enfields back then. But you can see this 308 doesn't have that. So the extractor is actually a little different on this 2A than it was on the original No.1 Mk.3 303 British. Let's actually do it like that. I ain't chambering no round, so don't ask. But that's the one right there. She goes right in there, and comes out the business end of that rifle. Let's actually take a look at that, because I haven't shown a No.1 Mk.3 quite yet. But it is everything original, so that's the same serial number on there that it is on the bottom part there. the back end. Now you see that bull pup looking front end there. They did that specifically so they didn't have to hang the bayonet on the barrel. They hang it here on this nub, and the bayonet lugs back here. So all your weight is actually being pushed right here instead of on your barrel. They didn't want to bend it. You guys can probably hear my cat playing around back there. Let's take a look at her real quick. Yeah, my Christmas tree's up right here, but it doesn't matter. What you doing? You're finally making a feature appearance instead of just kind of quick. Yeah, you like that? Oh, you're fierce. You're a fierce killer. Yeah. But this Enfield 2A did service in the Indian Army and then in the Indian Police Force. The 2A was replaced by the 2A1, and all they did was kind of lighten the load on it, kind of take a little bit of a different approach. They kind of made it more geared around the 7.62 by 51 NATO cartridge and not taking the pressures, which really aren't that big of a difference of a 308 cartridge. You just can't do reloads in here. I would go with NATO cartridges or anything made in the factory, because then you're definitely going to be safe. You know, I mean, it's not a definite thing when it comes to ammo. Maybe we'll do a whole video on ammo and such, but there's those two cartridges side by side again. There's the beautiful rifle. But that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. Ooh, actually, let's take a look at what was rumbling around the back here. Oh, that's right. I did get the right oiler for it. So, if I'm very careful, we can see this guy drop right out of there. That is a correct... I almost dropped something. But that is a correct oiler for this gun. You take that bottom part out right there, and then you'd oil with the pin that's in there. You'd oil up your moving parts. We'll put that guy back in there real quick. Close. Done. Well, Enfield 2A Ishapore. That's all I got for you guys today. Bye.